of urban living, what comes to mind? Perhaps tall ceilings, industrial design, and the open concept floor plan found in a downtown loft.
Hi, I'm Patrick Zarelli. I own an advertising agency here in South Florida, and this is my loft. I had actually had an offer on a traditional style home up in Delray Beach, and the realtor said that they had found a cool space in downtown Fort Lauderdale, and they showed me this loft. And even though it was empty, I had a vision for what it could be. And I ended up dropping the other house and making an offer on this loft.
Learn why South Floridians are falling in love with the concept of loft living on today's SoFlo Home Project. Welcome to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra. Today's home tour is very special because we don't have a lot of lofts here in South Florida. But designing these types of homes can be tricky. The goal is to create dual function spaces. This 1,700 square foot property has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a large terrace. It has been updated with smart tech and a cool industrial vibe. Patrick, welcome to SoFlo Home Project. It's great to have you here with us today.
It's a pleasure. Welcome to my loft.
We're here in just right outside of downtown Fort Lauderdale.
Yep, some people call it Fat Village, Flagler Village, but basically it's the art district.
One of the original residential buildings here is this particular loft building.
Yep, Avenue Lofts. We were the first loft building in Fort Lauderdale, so I like to say that we're the best. And then since then, we have 3 more loft buildings on the street that have gone up in the last few years, and it's kind of become a staple of this area. And what I love about these loft units is that you get a little bit more space than some of the other condos. So for me, a tall person who also has a home business, it's an amazing space. You know, we have the 14-foot ceilings and just enough room to really kind of, operate, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, I love the high ceilings. I think that's one of the draws of loft living. You think about the exposed, all the ductwork and all of the conduit, and it just brings such a different feel, and it's so cool.
And it really checked off kind of a bucket list item for me, because as a child of the 80s, I just saw so many movies, like the movie Big, where these people had these lofts, or there's movies with Kevin Bacon, and he would open the gates and go into these loft-style New York City apartments. That somewhere in my head, I guess I always wanted that, and it's been an absolute pleasure, honestly.
I love it. Now, let's talk about what it looked like before. Was it just basically a blank slate, exactly as is, and you just came in and added all the color?
It was a completely blank slate, and it had some odd colors in here. When we came in, there was so little done that it gave us the opportunity to kind of set it up the way that I wanted, and that's kind of the layout that we have here.
How did you tackle kind of setting up the floor plan with your living space and sort of the workspace? It all flows really well.
Yeah, I think that when you have a loft, you have to kind of just have a vision, because you have an open space and you're able to build sections, so you can use the couch, what would normally mark off a room, the couch can mark off the living room, or you can have the desk that clearly mark it as a workspace. So you use the furniture in an open floor plan to kind of define your spaces.
Yeah, it definitely creates like zones, and it's a nice way to do it. And grounded by carpeting, because we are in a loft. Lofts have the beautiful concrete floor, a great look, but you do need to soften it up.
Make it a little more livable. You need some good carpets if you're going to go into the loft game.
Yes, and you know what? It's great because it adds a lot of color. And then speaking of bright and exciting, because that brings the bright, the rugs, and of course the art, you kept everything in sort of that neutral feel, the concrete ceiling, keeping it with the concrete look. I like that it's a mix, because of course you have some drywall areas like by the kitchen, but here you get this, there's no mistaking you're in a loft, and it's got that great vibe.
Yep, and it's very industrial. And a lot of that has to do with the conduit. For here, any wire that we want to run, we've run through the metal conduit, and we've bent them really nice so that it kind of creates that industrial feel.
So Patrick, one of the things that I love about sort of loft living, as you mentioned, you were able to add a lot of lighting. And if you think about condos, in a condo you have a slab ceiling, concrete ceiling, that if you want to add more light fixtures, you have to drop the ceiling and do a lot of drywall work and a lot of finishing work in order to do that. Here, you run the conduit, you could really add lighting anywhere. It's an easier process, and it looks great.
Yeah, it's wonderful when you start with an open box.
Exactly.
So we've exposed what we wanted to expose.
Right.
Yes.
Good way to put it.
It came out nice.
Everyone has their kind of preference of which way they want to face the TV. When you have a lot of windows in a space, it's always that question. I always say never be afraid to kind of cover an area if it's extending past into the windows and stuff. You have a wall here to hang it, but like it's not blocking anything.
We felt that the windows were so big
Yes.
that it would work. And it kind of, in the way, it almost looks like a TV stand. The way
It does.
Yeah,
It creates a great backer panel of sorts.
Luckily it came out great. And, and we ran with it.
Well, we have looked at the kind of first part of this loft, the workspace, the living area, but there's more since in this open space it continues on, and we are going to check that out when we come back. Coming up, crafting a functional loft design layout on SoFlo Home Project.
SoFlo Home Project is sponsored in part by Eldorado Furniture. Looking to refresh your home? Visit us online at eldoradofurniture.com or a showroom near you.
Hi, I'm John,
And I'm Lester with USA Windows and Doors.
and today we're going to show you another installation of impact windows.
One of the things that the homeowner was concerned was about the process from beginning to end. One of the aspects that makes our company so unique is that we handle this entire process for the customer from beginning to end. It means that if the customer lives in an HOA, we take care of all the paperwork and adhere to the regulations of the HOA, which is very important. Number two, we handle the city permit and all the applications. And number three, we also take care of the inspections. One of the unique things that we did in this home is that we changed windows from being up and down to a fixed panel. However, the customer still wanted to maintain the original look of the windows. We did what is called tombstones. These are fixed panels, yet we maintain the colonial grids to comply with the HOA and still give the homeowner the original look that he loved. One of the main advantages to going to a fixed panel, of course, number one is safety. This window doesn't have any up and down mechanism. So it's a solid piece of glass. So we do everything. We do the stucco, we replace the wood bucking, we do the drywall, everything is done. The only thing we don't do is touch up paints.
Tell us also about the glass. I see that it's looking like it's tinted. What's the benefit of that?
In this case, the customer wanted to have some sort of privacy, so we went with what is called light tint. One of the main benefits, of course, is privacy, plus also energy efficiency in this case.
What's the saving about?
Anywhere between 20 to 30%.
Wow. Are you ready to upgrade your windows? Call USA Windows and Doors today.
To experience the difference, call the number on your screen now. The first 100 callers will be upgraded to the energy efficient glass at no extra cost.
So call USA Windows and Doors now.
Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we are continuing our tour of this loft with the homeowner, Patrick Zarelli. Patrick, so before the break, we got a chance to check out the living room and hybrid workspace of your loft. And then just on the other side of this open space, the dining and conference room of sorts.
Yeah, you know, if you can use spaces for more than one thing, that's also a bonus, especially when you're downtown. You know, you have a little less space than you might have in a house outside of the downtown area. And so using this space for work as a conference table or for meals, especially when you have your family over here on, like, you know, a pasta Sunday, it's just a great space for both things.
And I kind of love that you did the rolling chairs. So you kind of get that, again, we talk about it feeling like a conference room, but it's still a dining space. You've got concrete floors in a loft. So it almost makes sense, and this makes it a lot more comfortable and easier to use.
Yeah, no, it's so true.
I can't be in here and not talk about the art. I love the feel of bright, colorful artwork with the juxtaposition of these sort of concrete walls.
Well, I had some of it when I moved in, but a lot of it is growing in the space, especially this piece. This is a transparent artist piece. He's a good local artist here in Fort Lauderdale, and it's very large. And you know what I realized after we put it on is that if I ever move, I don't know if I'll ever be able to hang it up again because you need such tall ceilings to put it up. And then this is a Pink Panther, which I love from the cartoon when we were younger.
Yes.
And that's a Pro Canelo, and he's a Miami artist.
You kept everything nice and neutral, from your sofa, your dining table, your chairs, and all of this great art really does pop. Now, you've also added a lot of other things. Some is art, you have some other objects that might be stuff that you collected.
Yeah, you know, I think that's kind of life, right? We go through and we collect things that we like. So, you know, if I pick up a football helmet that I have up there, you know, we hung it up. The masks I've picked up in different countries, Colombia, Mexico, different places. And so I find different things that kind of speak to me, and then I drag them home and find a place for them.
I love it. You got plenty of space here in the loft, especially with the high ceilings. So the one thing that you can't miss when you walk in here is this bowl, this sculpture.
That's what we call the disco bowl. I've had it a couple years, and it's a great entryway piece. Just like you say, the door opens up, you see the bowl, and it kind of sets a tone that, hey, we're in a special place here. It's got some cool art.
I think it's great. It really does set the tone.
And then also, when you have these tall ceilings and these open walls, it is like having your own art gallery. So you kind of have to, you know, put your stuff. And I think one of the harder things is trying not to put too much stuff, which I tend to do, as you can probably see.
Now, do you find yourself editing the pieces as you perhaps travel and collect new things? Do you change it around a lot?
Absolutely. You know, if I find something new that speaks to me, I'll sell something else, or, you know, give it to a friend and just let them enjoy it. And then I put something new in.
I love that. Well, we've got more to see. We are going to continue touring through your loft, so stay with us. Coming up next, carving out comfy sleeping quarters in a loft on SoFlo Home Project. So we are here today at All American Roofing's offices, joined by Susan Manning. Susan, welcome. It's great to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
So it's another rainy day here in South Florida. And when it's raining, usually the first time we notice those roof leaks in a home or in a business.
Yeah, so most roofing companies, I think, when it rains, they send their people home. We are completely the opposite. When it rains, we are super busy. Our phones are ringing off the hook. We have men out there trying to stop leaks temporarily. So we're full force out when it's raining, not only for our commercial clients, but for our residential clients as well. Sometimes we can't do anything, but at least they feel better that we showed up, see the situation, and then we come back the next day if the weather clears.
Susan, so I think one of the biggest concerns or questions that homeowners might have is it just a repair? Do you have to start thinking about maybe replacing that roof? I feel like there's a lot of questions.
There are a lot of questions, and we do offer free estimates for those repairs. All they need to do is call the office. We'll set it up for them, and we'll come out there. If we feel their roof is too old, or maybe the roof was not put on correctly, so a repair would be wasting money, we prefer that, you know, give you an estimate for a new roof. We're not going to put a Band-Aid on something that we know is going to leak. And the reason why we do this is because we guarantee our work.
Some great stuff right there, Susan, and it speaks so much about All American Roofing and all that you do for homeowners and even commercial businesses.
Yeah, we really care for our customers.
How do people reach you at All American Roofing for help with any of those things?
How they reach us is 954-772-7663 by phone, or allamericanroof.com on the web.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So we have had some record-breaking hot days leading up to summer, and now that summer is here, it is not going to be getting any cooler. So we're here today with Mike Lang at Air Around the Clock to find out how to keep cool this summer and some great things that you could offer.
We have a lot of new things that are going on in the air conditioning industry, and we are here on a record-breaking heat day actually as well.
That's right.
And what's gone on is the manufacturers have made a 10-year warranty now for parts that they give with the air conditioner on the sale of the air conditioner. You can buy a labor warranty along with it, and the air conditioner is covered for parts and labor. And then we come out every 6 months, blow out the drain line, check the Freon levels. That's all part of it. You pay nothing the rest of the way out for 10 years. I know people get scared when they call about an air conditioner, and they get the fear of, do they need a new one? Right. Can they fix the old one? Do we have the parts? This takes all of that out of that. You're not going to be paying anything the whole time for 10 years. You can put the labor warranty into the financing, and that's it. You get one bill once a month, covers the whole thing. So it's an amazing deal. It really is.
Right, so just by replacing the unit itself, although it's a large expense, you're already reducing that electric bill, as you
Right,
said.
exactly. Yeah, you're doing that. Like you could give the money to the power company, or you could give the money to giving yourself a new air conditioner, which is, I think I'd rather get the new air conditioner.
Absolutely. Now at Air Around the Clock, you guys are equipped to really help same day, right?
Yeah,
With all of that.
We'll put the unit in the same day. Not only that, we'll be no later than the next day, but either the same day or next day, depending on what time of the summer it is. 135 trucks, 185 employees. We have our own finance company, so we can finance it for you right there. I really want to stress that this is a wonderful product that they came out with, and people should really take advantage of it. The cost of air conditioners continue to go up.
Right.
It's a good time to buy, and you won't have to worry about when the guy comes out. It's going to cost you nothing. You're done. One-time shot, and it's over.
So Mike, the most important thing today is if homeowners want to keep cool, not only this summer, but year round, how do they reach you at Air Around the Clock?
They could reach us at 888-FIX-MY-AC or atcair.com for Air Around the Clock.
Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we are continuing our tour of this downtown Fort Lauderdale loft with the homeowner, Patrick Zarelli. So Patrick, before the break, we took a look at the dining room / conference room at times, and the whole open concept floor plan is really what the loft living is all about.
The open concept kind of allows everything to flow, you know, but it does open up your bedroom, where we are now, to the living area. So you have to be comfortable with that. It's a little bit of an adjustment.
Yes, now on both sides, both bedrooms sort of kind of flank where the kitchen is, right?
Yes, and it may not be for everyone. You know, for me, a bachelor, I have guests occasionally. So if I have guests occasionally and we're sharing this open space, no big deal. If I had a permanent family here and we were sharing the open space, it might be a lot.
But in this particular loft, if you ever wanted to, you could certainly build a wall as well and add a door.
You know, it's something I've considered. My father's in construction. He's helped me with most of my homes and this home, and it was a big conversation. We talked about putting doors in, and we saw doors put in other lofts. I decided to keep it truly a loft and leave it open, but the thing that I did realize during that process is if you're gonna close it off, what I would have done is put glass walls in to match the big windows, and I think that would have matched the aesthetic nicely.
But I love the way you kept it here, and I want to talk about the art, because that has been a great theme throughout. Neutral space, but bolder wall art and decor and sculpture throughout.
Yeah, I like to have the exciting art. This is my room, you know, I spend time in here, I sleep in here, so I wanted to put some of my best art. These are two Joshua Oliveira paintings. That one was done at Art Basel in 2014. This is a Pro Canelo box that I really like.
Awesome.
But, you know, I kept the bed and most things neutral, white and black. I did put yellow on the walls because I like to wake up in a bright room.
So a little pop of color.
Yeah, a little pop of color, cool art, and then, you know, your blacks and whites.
No, looks really great. Now let's talk about storage, because in a loft, there's two areas that have doors besides the entry and the exit: the bathrooms and the closet.
The closets have really nice sliding pocket doors, which you don't see that much anymore.
No, it's a nice feature.
Yeah, which I do enjoy. And the bathroom has your traditional doors. But for the most part, you do not get a lot of storage in a loft. It's a big empty space, so you have to find your creative ways to add storage. So vertical storage really comes in handy.
So the living is open concept, but the storage is not open. It's closed.
Yeah, the storage is closed, the concept is open.
Love it. Now there is another bedroom on the other side. You have a guest room as well with two beds.
It's almost set up like a hotel room, and that there's two beds in there. And when you live in South Florida, you're always going to have your visitors. You know, people want to come and they want to see Florida and see the beach. And so having a nice guest room is really a nice asset.
Absolutely. Now I want to talk a little bit more about the fun kind of art and pieces you have. I'm spying a slot machine. So you have a lot of cool things.
It's a collection that I'm forever growing, and I think it has to do with, you know, your childhood and pop culture and what you're into. So it makes the house a little bit more exciting.
No, I think it's all about those kind of fun pieces. I love that everything is so colorful and bright, but it's still a really beautiful home, and it brings in that sort of urban, creative space vibe.
Yeah, it totally does. And I'm a homebody at the end of the day. I like to be home, you know? So I like to have things around me that I can enjoy and play with, and, you know, different things in different sections.
It's a great space, but we are not done yet. There is one amazing outdoor area of this loft, and we're going to check that out when we come back. Next, we unwind on this urban loft terrace on SoFlo Home Project. Welcome back to SoFlo Home Project. I'm Alena Capra, and we are continuing our downtown loft living tour with the homeowner Patrick Zarelli. So Patrick, we had a chance to look at the interior of the great open floor plan of your loft, but I think one of the best parts of it is the outdoor space.
That's true. You know, we are here in beautiful South Florida, and outdoor living is a prime part of our life because we can use it year round.
Absolutely, and even in the middle of the city.
Yeah, right here in the middle of the city, we have a large balcony. There's a lot of room where you can entertain, you can relax, and you can grill some food. You can do whatever you want to do out here. And I think for me, this was really the major selling factor. The big debate we had was, should there be a TV on the balcony? And we decided that it's a social area for people to talk, and we went with kind of more seating, and we left the TV viewers inside. And if you want to come outside, you know, you enjoy the weather.
That's a nice way to do it. And the outdoor space brings it to that urban oasis, right? And you get the nice indoor loft living, and you've got this great sanctuary outdoors.
That's exactly what it is. It's an urban oasis out here. And if you want to do a little project, you can do it out here too. Let's say it's Halloween, you want to carve the pumpkins. You don't want to do that inside, so you have this beautiful space to do it. If you want to paint something, you know, you got a little piece of furniture you want to paint or something, out here you have that space that's outside the house where you can get a little dirty and you can get some stuff done.
Yes, well, Patrick, this has been so much fun. I absolutely loved touring the loft with you, hearing about a lot of the inspiration behind the art and the things that you've put in it. So this has been so much fun, so I want to thank you for sharing your home with us today.
Well, thank you for coming and thank you for having us on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you guys in my loft.
And in keeping with all things design inspiration, take a look at what we have for you next week on SoFlo Home Project. We have the latest in modern organic furniture trends. Contemporary design steps away from straight lines to create a luxe, warm feel in your home. And before we go, I just want to wish all the dads out there a happy Father's Day, especially my dad. Happy Father's Day. Enjoy your special day. And remember, there's no place like SoFlo Home. If you missed any part of this episode, or if you're looking for more design inspiration, make sure to check out all episodes online at SoFloShows.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media on Facebook and Instagram.